04:30 a.m., October 20th, 2025. Black Sea Bay near Kherson. Hours after Moscow's secret deal with Turkey reopened the ammo corridor, 500 tons of shells rolling south. On the Ropucha's bridge, the midnight watch had settled into a lazy routine. The captain, confident the mission was over, had retired to his cabin hours ago. Below deck, a few off-duty sailors shared a bottle of vodka while the rest of the crew slept. None of them noticed the Ukrainian silent shadow that's been tailing them for 45 minutes straight. This is a 20-foot Barracuda USV cutting through the dark water at 30 knots. It's not alone. Tucked inside its modular bay are 4 Wild Hornets quad-rotor FPVs, each packing a 1.5 Lub warhead folded and ready to turn Russia's battlefield spine into Poseidon's private pool party. This is playing $1 million chess game, with a $50,000 controller pieced together from parts you can find on Alibaba. You just thought it was impossible. If true, comment 1. If no, comment 2, and wait for the winner. In theory, this is a suicide mission. To even touch that ship, the Barracuda has to get past an invisible firewall of patrol radar electronic jammers, AK-630 CIWS escort patrol boats, and even sailors firing handheld guns. But theory only exists on paper. Reality stay here, you'll be shocked, speechless. It began when Russia signed the new shipping deal with Turkey. They thought it was a diplomatic shield, but the Ukrainians saw it for what it really was, a giant floating bullseye on a predictable schedule. Hitting a target this deep in the Black Sea in an area Russia considered safe meant the enemy would never see it coming. This wasn't just about sinking one ship. It was about sending a message right to the heart of the Russian fleet: nowhere is safe. Starting with the first real test of the night, Russia's coastal patrol radar. On the Russian command screen, it's a serene green circle. For the Barracuda, it's a deadly tripwire. A sudden ping cuts through the quiet of the Russian ship's combat information center. A single faint blip appears on the screen. Too small for a boat, too slow for a missile. A lone Russian operator squints, his training kicking in. Contact bearing 270 low altitude. He reports, a flicker of professional pride in his voice. He thinks he's just caught a standard Ukrainian recon drone. He has no idea he's just taken the bait. That Russian radar system is designed to do one thing exceptionally well: predict where a target is going to be. Its algorithms are optimized for the straight, predictable flight paths of aircraft and missiles. It calculates a vector, leads the target, and tells the guns where to fire. But there's a fatal flaw baked into its Soviet-era DNA. It expects logic. It expects its enemies to fly in a straight line. And the Ukrainian operator is about to feed it pure, unadulterated chaos. He sends the command. The Barracuda, now acting as a forward relay station, blasts the signal to the lead FPV drone. The first Wild Hornet catapults off the Barracuda, not flying at the ship but perpendicular to it. It catches the 15-knot crosswind and begins a dizzying counterclockwise corkscrew flight path, hugging the waves just 10 feet above. Ukrainians call it the Reverse-Helix assault. In simple terms, the drone is dancing. On the Russian radar screen, the target isn't a clean vector, it's a drunken scribble. The multi-million-dollar fire control computer, designed to calculate missile intercepts in milliseconds, is now trying to solve an equation for a target with no predictable pattern. The result is a digital migraine. The system can't get a lock. The operator watches the FPV blip dance right past the radar's effective kill zone. He just outsmarted a multi-million-dollar defense system with high school physics and a joystick. But the radar did do one thing: it screamed, "Wake up!" And that just activated the next, more insidious layer of Russian defense, the TK-25E electronic jammer. 04:41 a.m. The Russian jammer saturates the airwaves with high-power electromagnetic noise. On the Ukrainian operator's screen, the crystal-clear FPV feed suddenly dissolves into a blizzard of digital static. The GPS coordinates vanish. For a terrifying moment, he is blind. To the Russian EW officer, this is checkmate. He's just electronically deafened and blinded the incoming threat. He's confident the drone is now just a dumb piece of plastic flying aimlessly until its battery dies. But the Ukrainians were counting on this. They knew Russia would jam the GPS, so they built their FPVs to be smarter than the jammer. The moment the GPS signal died, the drone's onboard inertial navigation system kicked in. It's a tiny, solid-state marvel that doesn't need satellites. It feels every change in speed and direction using the fundamental laws of physics. You can lie to a GPS, but you can't lie to Isaac Newton. Simultaneously, the Barracuda mothership, now just 2 miles from the target, switches its role. It's no longer just a launch pad. It's a powerful close-range signal booster. It blasts a focused high-gain signal directly at the FPV swarm, punching through the wall of Russian jamming. The operator's screen flickers back to life. He's got control. He launches FPVs number 2 and 3. They don't fly in a straight line. They follow the same chaotic reverse-helix pattern, a swarm of electronic hornets dancing through the storm of Russian jamming. The Russian EW officer stares at his console in disbelief. His multi-million-dollar system is throwing everything it has at the targets, and they're just dancing right through it. It's like trying to stop a tidal wave with a garden hose. He just lost the electronic chess match, and now the physical fight is about to get very, very real, because his frantic jamming has woken up the ship's last line of automated defense, the AK-630 close-in weapon system. 4:44 a.m. Suddenly the night rips apart. The AK-630 CIWS erupts in a mechanical scream, unleashing a torrent of 5,000 rounds per minute into the air. The camera feed from the lead FPV drone shudders violently as tracers thick as angry fireflies tear past it. This isn't jamming anymore. It's a marvel of engineering, but it has one tiny fatal flaw. Its brain is programmed to hunt jets and missiles, not angry skimming the waves. For a target this small and low, the system has a half-second detonation delay. A half-second where it confirms the target before its shells explode. And in a fight with an FPV drone, half a second is an eternity. The Ukrainian operator goes for the kill shot. He unleashes the final FPV, but this isn't a solo attack. It's a coordinated mugging. He splits the swarm. 2 drones suddenly climb, becoming juicy, obvious targets that scream, "Shoot me to the Russian radar!" The AK-630 takes the bait. Its 6-barrel swivel and unleash hell on the decoys. And while it's distracted, the other 2 FPVs use the chaos as cover. They dive low, weaving through the ship's own defensive chaff like slalom skiers, accelerating to 100 miles per hour. They're flying a modified helix pattern right through the blind spot created by the gun's own firing angle. The AK-630 falls silent, its barrels glowing cherry red. It just emptied a significant portion of its magazine, shooting at ghosts. It failed. But the storm of tracers has lit up the night sky like a flare, signaling the arrival of the last and most aggressive line of defense, Russia's guard dog. Out of the darkness, a sleek, modern silhouette cuts through the waves, a Project 22-160 patrol ship. Russia's billion-ruble guard dog racing to protect its master. Its engines roar to life and its heavy machine guns open up not at the tiny drones, but at their mother, the Barracuda USV. This is the Russians' final desperate gambit. They can't hit the FPV swarm, so they're trying to kill the queen bee. But this guard dog, for all its sharp teeth, has a critical weakness. Its advanced radar is designed to hunt single high-value targets. It excels at locking onto a ship or a low-flying helicopter, but when faced with multiple chaotic targets, its processor overloads. It has to pick one. And the Ukrainian operator is about to give it an impossible choice. He executes the final brilliant phase of his plan, divide and conquer. He peels one Wild Hornet decoy away from the main swarm and sends it on a screaming suicidal attack run directly at the patrol ship. It's the ultimate distraction, a loud, angry, obvious threat. The Russian crew does exactly what they're trained to do. The patrol ship's guns swivel, tracking the lone FPV. Every sailor with a rifle is aiming at this one drone. They see a single attacker and focus all their rage and firepower on it. And while the guard dog is busy chasing this bone, the operator sends his final 2 Wild Hornets on their true mission. They dive, skimming just 5 feet off the water, using the wake from the Russian patrol ship itself as radar cover. They are ghosts, invisible to the distracted crew. They slip past the final layer of defense without a single shot being fired at them. It's the oldest trick in the book. You throw a bone to the guard dog, and while it's busy chewing, you sneak in and rob the owner blind. The crew of the patrol ship might even get a cheer as they blast the decoy drone out of the sky. But it's too late. Their master, the Ropucha Ammo Ship, is now naked, exposed, and helpless. The final attack run has begun. The camera feed from the lead FPV drone locks onto its target. There's no more dancing, no more decoys. This is a straight, brutal line to the heart of the Russian ship. The lens zooms in, revealing the final target with chilling clarity, the rows of rectangular steel boxes sitting on the main deck. These aren't just containers. They are the ship's external ammunition storage, holding hundreds of artillery shells and rockets for the Kherson front. A wave of panic finally hits the Russian crew. On the deck, sailors scramble, grabbing their personal AK-74 rifles and firing wildly into the sky. It's a futile gesture of defiance. Trying to hit a 100-mile-per-hour FPV drone with a rifle is like trying to swat a fly with a needle. The ship's captain orders a hard turn, but a 4,000-ton vessel laden with ammunition doesn't handle like a sports car. It groans slowly, beginning to list as the rudders bite into the water. The turn takes 20 agonizing seconds. The final Wild Hornet drone needs less than one. 4:47 a.m. the first drone impacts. There is no massive Hollywood-style fireball. Not at first. The 1.5 bulk-shaped charge warhead is designed for surgical precision, not brute force. It detonates with a sharp crack, focusing all its explosive energy into a single point. This creates the Monroe effect, a jet of molten copper superheated to thousands of degrees, moving at up to 25,000 feet per second. It punches through the half-inch steel wall of the ammunition container as if it were paper. For a split second, there is silence. Then hell erupts. The superheated jet instantly ignites the propellant inside the first artillery shell, which in turn detonates the shell next to it. It's a chain reaction of unimaginable violence. 500 tons of high explosives meant for the fields of Ukraine decide to go off all at once. The ship's deck vaporizes in a flash of white-hot light, sending a mushroom cloud 500 feet into the sky. The shockwave rolls across the bay, a physical blow that feels like the end of the world. From the bridge of the nearby patrol ship, the Russian crew can only watch in horror as their mothership is broken in two. The Orsk doesn't sink gracefully. Its back snaps and the two halves fold inward, a tomb of twisted steel and shattered pride. It took months of logistics for Russia to get that ammunition to the front. It took a $50,000 drone system and one Ukrainian operator under 20 minutes to send it all to the bottom of the Black Sea. The strategic math is brutal. Russia didn't just lose a $200 million ship, they lost 20% of their artillery firepower for the entire Kherson sector. For the next week, Russian guns will fall silent. For Ukrainian soldiers and civilians, that silence means survival. From his bunker 50 miles away, the operator watches the thermal signature of the Russian ship disappear from his screen. He leans back, takes a sip of cold coffee, and sends a one-word message to his commander: "Done. The fireworks are over." But the real damage, the kind that cripples a war machine, is just beginning. What you saw was the complete destruction of a Ropucha-class landing ship, a $200 million asset. More importantly, 500 tons of artillery shells and rockets now sit at the bottom of the Black Sea. For the Russian units in Kherson waiting for that shipment, their guns will go silent. This isn't an inconvenience. It's a tactical castration. For weeks, they will lack the firepower to conduct major offensive operations or even effectively defend their positions. But it's just the start. This strike shattered Russia's entire southern logistics chain. The sea route, established under that secret deal with Turkey, was supposed to be the safe, fast, and efficient backbone for supplying the Kherson front. Now, it's a death trap. Russia is forced to reroute all future supplies through the overstrained and vulnerable land bridge in Crimea, a route constantly under attack by HIMARS and Storm Shadow missiles. This one strike didn't just sink a ship, it created a logistical nightmare that will slow down every bullet and every piece of bread reaching the Russian front lines for months to come. You think that's it? Not yet. Remember the Russian captain lighting his cigar and declaring, "Tonight the sea belongs to us again." That smug confidence has now turned to ash. While Russia's Ministry of Defense will likely report a fire safety incident, satellite imagery from Maxar and videos from local fishermen are already telling the true story. The myth that Russia could secure its own backyard, that its deals and its naval power created impenetrable safe zones, has been ripped to shreds by a $50,000 drone system. For every other captain in the Black Sea Fleet, the message is clear: you are not safe anywhere. And that creates the ultimate strategic migraine for Moscow. This attack forces the Russian High Command into an impossible choice. To protect their remaining valuable ships, they must now pull precious air defense systems like the Panzer and Tor off the front lines and station them along the coast, or even weld them onto the decks of their vessels. Every Panzer moved to protect a ship is one less Panzer protecting Russian troops from a Ukrainian air assault. Ukraine just used a handful of cheap FPV drones to force Russia to weaken its own front line. It's a strategic checkmate. So Russia's grand strategy to resupply its army has backfired into a strategic dilemma they can't solve. They thought they were playing chess, but Ukraine brought a whole new game. This is what happens when Ukrainian ingenuity gets a turbo boost from American and European muscle. For all the billions Moscow parades past Red Square, for all the polished steel and chest-thumping anthems their prized Black Sea Fleet just stood there, Blindsided, outmaneuvered, and ultimately humiliated by a foe that's smarter, faster, and frankly, having more fun doing it. This isn't just a win for Ukraine, it's a savage ROI for the West and a neon-lit billboard screaming courage plus clever tech will body slam brute force and arrogance every single time. Moscow didn't just lose a ship, they paid tuition in humility and the invoice is still burning. This exclusive footage proves one pinpoint strike can tilt the entire chessboard. So tell me what stings Russia hardest here, the logistics chokehold, the psychological gut punch, or the strategic nightmare now keeping their admirals awake? Drop your take in the comments. I'm reading everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more in-depth breakdowns. Bye for now.